So there was 4 of us, I suppose, and we did shows with Tony Hawk and Dennis McCoy.
Oh yeah, I heard you skated with Tony Hawk. Like, so you used to tour with Tony Hawk?
No, like well,
Or do shows? I guess.
Do shows with him, yeah. So I suppose that was 94.
That's fucking wild. Was that before he was like Tony Hawk that he is now? Or
No. Well, for me, I'm old.
He was already
so Bones Brigade was 80s.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, because I know like.
So like, maybe tell me if I'm wrong. Skateboarding was on a dip.
Oh, they were in the gutters.
In the gutters.
Early 90s.
And X Games came, but before X Games, with X Games maybe.
No, so at the time, obviously rollerblading boomed and went crazy, but this was like the very start of it. And we were there then, luckily. And so they were riding sort of off the back of rollerblading shows.
I was literally about to say those exact words, was skateboarding like riding off of rollerblading's back at that time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they were kind of tagged along to your show.
Yeah, so it was a rollerblade show, and you'd have the token BMXer and the token skateboarder, which was Tony Hawk and Dennis McCoy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like the 2 biggest names, I guess, in their sports.
And we were excited, and Tony's like awesome. He invited us to stay at his house, and we met his family.
Yeah, he's got a lot of love for bladers.
I've
seen like a few interviews and stuff recently, and he still talks highly of bladers.
I think he likes people, and I think if you're a good person, he'll give you respect.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
If you're he won't. So that's the same as anyone, same as me.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way too. I don't care if you skateboard, BMX, scooter. If you're a cool person, you're fun to be around. Why the hostility? We're all going to like skate parks and stuff, doing the same thing.
We're all doing the same stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. So, it's no different from you seeing like a basketball player and like you're like, hey, what's up? Oh, you play basketball? It's cool. I skate.
No, I'm joking. I used to play ball.
It's so cool, like, for me to, seeing the generations of skating and knowing what you and Tom and Jess and Arlo and seeing the kind of relationships you had with Tony Hawk and Dave Mirror later maybe, but it's just that it came and is gone. And this
it kind of really
this is rad that you're talking about it so people can
because it kind of hasn't happened much since then, I don't think, except for like the X Games and stuff like that, but there hasn't really been many tours or shows. I guess Nitro Circus would be one compared.
I think
Nitro
the relationships
Circus is
that you
great.
guys had were real, you were friends. You still are friends
100%.
with these guys.
I mean,
Tony
do you still talk to these guys?
I see Tony when he's out here, but I'll catch up with Steve Caballero. I still talk to Rick Thorne, and there's a few that I'll just Facebook. But when Steve Cab comes out, because I did shows for 6 years with him.
He still skates?
Cab?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's just like killing it.
Like last year, he did like a full loop.
Did he?
Yeah, in a little pocket, like a little.
He's like 50.
Jeez. Yo, he's got to be so old.
No, he's older than. I'd be guessing, but I guess he's 54.
Wow.
53.
Doing loops in the 50s.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Straight up.
I have a lot of respect for him.
That's
and I'm not trying to like.
How can you not?
Like, suck up skateboarding's ass because I don't give a shit. But like he's a friend, so
yeah, exactly.
Good
well,
people.
you know them before they were like what they are today, like before they were legendary.
Well, no, Cab was legendary in the 80s.
The 80s, right? Yeah.
He was making more money in the 80s than probably he's making now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild stuff.
So, in a lot of ways, you were skating with these legendary skateboarders and BMXers.
Yeah.
Were you, like, intimidated? Like,
oh, man. No, I was just so excited.
You were more excited.
I was excited.
Yeah, you weren't like, oh, God.
When you were younger, you were probably more hyped than like anything.
Oh. Yeah.
Being a teenager, skating with those guys.
We were excited.
Yeah, so many people now probably dream of doing shit like that. And this was like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. So you...
Yeah, 1994.
Yeah. That's before most of us even started skating.
Yeah.
Before I started skating.
Before that, we were skating with Australian pros, which people may or may not know, but... Excuse me. Australian pro skateboarders. So that were amazing. So that's how we sort of...
linked up together. Yeah. And you haven't, like... So you're doing this event that's here, you did it mostly for the OGs, or you did it as like a gathering? Because you I guess from what my perspective would have been for someone who's like an outsider eye doesn't really know, like it seems like you went to Blading Cup, got like so hyped, and you're like, I want this again back home, and you were like, let's just do it.
Not Blading Cup. No. I love Blading Cup.
Yeah.
And I love being there. It was the highlight of my year last year, and
I can imagine
12 holidays last year. I don't know.
12.
I had 12 holidays last year.
Once a month.
I know. Like, and
that was a good year. 2018 was a good year.
It was a good. I can't top it. But no, I went to Blading Cup, but I came back and this is going to sound really cheesy, but I did want to I got a lot out of the skating industry. I had a long career, and I was never one of the top guys, but was in it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, people came and went, you know, like I skated with Arlo at the start of sort of the growth and Jess and all those guys, and then they went on to their commentary and this and that, and I sort of kept going, and then the next wave came and they stopped, and you know, like Micah Palix, love Micah Palix.
Yeah.
And then they stopped and went to team manager roles, and then I sort of kept going and going and going, and so I went for a long time. Like I was never at the top. So I got a lot out of it. And this is the cheesy bit. I did want to sort of see if I could give something back to what's given me.
Yeah,
my
definitely
best friends, you know.
Yeah, I think we're all obviously in similar situations to that. Also, like it's given us so much. How can you not give back to it and make it grow as much as you want it to grow? You know.
So that's that. So for me, it wasn't a competition. It's not a battle. It's not an IMYTA. It's for me, it was a connection of people. Try and reconnect the relationships that are broken over the last 20, 30 years, reconnect them, and hopefully bind them a little bit. So next week I go to Blake Dennis, do you want to come skating with me? And he goes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And if that happens, their kids, Blake's got kids, I've got kids, will get into skating.
Of course,
More people will get into skating.
Yeah.
And that's the concept. Whether it works or not is, who knows?
Yeah.
That's
it's got to help in some way, because introducing it to them is like the first thing.
Yeah. So if I can connect a bunch of friends, that's my goal. I don't know if that's everyone else's goal who's coming to the event, but my goal is to reconnect with my old friends. And like guys, we skated with guys today I've never met, never seen them, and they were hyped. You know, like they're skating with John.
Like newer guys, you mean? I don't even know
old guys would be skating for a long time that I've never seen, and they were just so hyped to be there. And you can tell it sparks, just
every little event.
Little sparks.
It doesn't even have to be major events like Winter Clash, Blading Cup, stuff like that. Just any kind of group gathering always rekindles people's interest in it, and it just reminds you of why you do it in the first place, why you used to do it, whatever it may be in the first place. And that's a huge part of it, because so many people get back into it that way, or introduce it to someone else in a different way.
Well, social media. I'm old. I don't know how to use it. I have to ask my kids how to use it.
You're pretty active.
But well, now I am, and the reason is because, I don't need likes. I've had my career. You know,
that's a good one. I never heard that.
I've had my career. You know, I've had my time in the sun, and I'm happy and content. But what I've noticed with doing it is people get excited by seeing. I don't do anything good, you know, I just, whatever, little bits. But, for example, Toby Heslop, who is one of my all-time favourite skaters, saw it and said, are you down at Manly skating? Yeah, come down. Come down next week. And now I get to skate with one of my all-time favourite skaters.
Have you not seen him for a while since then, or just not skated with him?
I seen him at the hardware store.
Jeez.
Yeah, and he started skating maybe 6 weeks ago.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Wait till you see him skate tomorrow.
I know. Like, I feel like such like a schmuck, because like I obviously know the name Toby Heslop, but I can't put his skating towards the name. And I think Dom was telling me the other day, he's like, you got to see him skate. He's amazing, especially on like the mini ramp at Manly. And I'm like, I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Man.
And now like, you're a guy so like hyping him up so much too.
Oh man, dude. Like,
I feel like I missed out on like a huge part of skating by not like either paying attention to it or like noticing it as much.
Time, right?
It was earlier, yeah. It was early.
He was skating for a long time. So.
Yeah.
Early days for sure. But
yeah.
but he might have like slipped through the radar a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't
he wasn't always.
There were so many good skaters that came out of Australia in the 90s, especially, like so many.
Yeah. So many. And he was a Row 6 pro. He was on the pro team for Row 6 international.
See, I didn't even notice that.
So he was, he's right up there, and he's still, everyone was so excited to see Tom Fry skate. I was so excited to see Blake Dennis and Toby.
Yeah.
I was more excited to see those two. Almost.